Usually we like to do
dance
an espresso martini.
Oh, nice.
Always we do an espresso
See, I'll do a white
martini.
wine.
Yeah.
I drink a white wine, and I'll sometimes on stage I'll have like a white wine with club soda. Like I'll make a white wine spritzer because that way you stay a little hydrated.
Yep.
But I'm not pounding it back. I will say it's funny listening to my cocktail jazz quietly in my room, and then my pre-show playlist is literally like DMX. You know what I mean? So it's such,
Getting the crowd.
Like X gon' give it to you.
Well, you have to completely shift
For us,
entertainment
for us,
mode.
it's like Disney music on the outside because the pop culture, they want to get into that. But we, it's funny because like we do the espresso martini, but there is a period of time like Fran can really take down a cocktail, and
I'm a pretty good drinker.
Right.
Not to toot like something to be so proud of, but like
no, she can. For me, I just I like to cut to the chase. Like I like a good shot, right? But you can't do that necessarily before every show because then I'm like on the stage and I'm cross-eyed. So last one I did red wine.
Which is a different type of drunk.
Ice in it.
Different.
And I'm a great red wine drunk.
Oh, really?
Like I'm
I'm asleep.
I'm like
it's
giddy.
It's a heat for me.
Yeah.
The red wine stirs something up. I like when people say they get like whiskey angry. I'm like, you give me a bottle of Chianti and I will fight your whole fucking family.
I also
That's
get
hilarious. It affects everyone differently. It
I
gets
get congested.
Yeah,
you need an allergy.
Yeah, if my
For
face
me,
is red, I need a Sudafed.
I get like real giddy. Like
Okay.
everything is funny to me, whatever. So I did that the last one. I think that's my new recipe: the espresso martini and then the wine.
And then a chilled red wine.
Yeah,
I like that. Good
I
for
think
you.
it was great. Okay, so you're special. You're talking a lot about your family, a lot about your dad, your parents, your siblings. When you are going into this and you're like, all right, everybody, gather around the family. Like, do you have to say, it's time to air out the family stories and I'm doing it on Netflix?
Yes, I did get permission, and like my family's seen the show a million times, and I do think like my dad would be like, well, you know what, baby girl, at least you're making money at this. You know what I mean? The funny thing is this new tour that I'm doing right now that I'll shoot in a couple weeks is all about my first year of marriage, which y'all buckle up, okay? And it's basically like a public roast of my husband. And the first time he saw it, I was nervous. I was like, he may say I've gone too far. And I walked off stage. I was doing a show in Augusta, Georgia. I walk off stage and he's like, you could have gone harder. And I was like, I could have. And
you're like, fuck. Talk about how you found the right guy, though, you know?
No,
like,
truly.
That's, not a lot of guys would say that.
Not a lot of guys would say that. But, I talk about very intimate parts of our life, intimate parts of like our extended family's life that, I got permission from him. And I'm like, listen, it's my truth. I'm going to tell it. But it's funny because guys will always be like, how does Jeff feel about this shit? I'm like, first of all, you would never ask a male comedian that, right? Male comedians can talk about how stupid their kids are, their wives, women be shopping, and you'd never question it. But because I'm a woman, all of a sudden, like, there's a stigma behind it because I'm throwing. My husband's playing golf every day. Like, he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't have to work right now. I'm the breadwinner. He is just playing golf. So he's like, I don't even care. Tell him I got a tiny dick. I don't care. I'm like, he does not. But still, medium, very medium.
He's 6'2".
Yeah.
Exactly. I saw a clip where you were talking about tiny dicks on stage, and you were like, not the men here.
No.
You have a big dick. You have a big dick.
Yeah, I like the men to feel empowered at my shows.
Well, you have to because it's they're certainly the minority.
Yes, they are the minority. But it's funny too because these guys will always be like, "Oh God, Heather." They always start off like, "Bringing my wife to the show. I listen to you every night in bed." Da, 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 da. And then they have the best time. And they'll show up in the merch. I'm like, "Oh, you're actually the fan." And sweetheart, you need to tell your wife you're gay. You know?
And they're like, "Can I get a picture with you? It's for my wife."
Yeah,
I promise you, it's for my wife.
Yeah.
That one comes around all the time too.